Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island. Yeah. Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island.
All right.
Hey,
Hey, everybody.
good to see you, Mike.
Hey, good to see you, Sean. Look at Dustin.
What you been up to, buddy?
I'm here. Hi there.
Not
I
much.
welcome.
Just doing
What?
this show over here. Oh, hi, Dustin. Could you quiet down for a second, Dustin? Sean and I are having a conversation.
My apologies, Tebow.
You're real choppy right now. What is going on?
What is going on?
There we go. I think that's better. Yep. Had to refresh it a couple times for some reason. Anyways, welcome to Meltdown Island, Dustin. Welcome
Hi there,
to my
everyone.
show called Meltdown Island, where I
Get it,
why are
Mike.
you applauding
Get
that? I mean,
show.
come on. You can do
It's,
better than
that
that.
it's a
show.
mutiny.
Right?
Let's go.
It's a mutiny. All right. All right.
It's not a mutiny because we're all in this together like a family should be in it together, right, Sean?
Should
How are you,
be
Sean?
in it
I
together.
can't mutiny myself.
You mutinied yourself? You got to go
said-
change?
No, I said you can't. I can't mutiny myself.
Exactly, Sean. Only the people closest to you in your life can mutiny you and betray you and break your heart. Okay? So welcome to Meltdown Island. This is a comedy show that I'd like to explain to you. This is a show
It's a
where we talk.
comedy show. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's a comedy show where three friends get together and have a conversation where we interview people, we look at the news stories sometimes, we explore different avenues that maybe some of us are going down.
Some of us.
I'm usually together with my BFFs on the male side, and that would be with Mike McCadigan.
Why say it that way? That is my BFFs on the male side. I don't like
I
that.
don't know.
I don't like
I didn't
that.
mean to say it that way. I didn't
Yeah.
mean to.
Apparently.
It's not meant to be a bad thing because, I have what I am implying, Mike, is I
Yes.
have best friends on all sides of every spectrum. How about that, Mike?
So
you're on the male
you,
side.
You always categorize your friends by their gender?
Nope. Society puts us on a spectrum. And that whether that spectrum be a mental, whether it be a physical, whether it be spiritual or color, it's all spectrums, right? And all of a sudden, when you
This
think about it,
conversation is becoming a troubling conversation. I don't
hold on.
necessarily
When
think
you
I like
think
it.
about it,
Mhm.
spectrums combined us. They connect us more than divide and separate and organize us. Why? Because we're all on every spectrum there ever has spectralized. Come on, world. Let's get ourselves together. Welcome to Meltdown Island, where sometimes we start getting a little upset. Maybe not at other people, maybe it's at our own selves for saying stupid words. But ultimately, we like to come back together, laugh at ourselves. Ha 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 ha. Way to be the fool today, Justin. And then we like to go, what's next? What are we talking about today? You know what I mean, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
This is my friend, Sean Hamlin. Oh my God, you switched me up. Sean, how have you been, bud?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. I had an important moment, another important moment last week.
What?
I mean, I don't know that I want to bring it up. I know it's a hot button issue, apparently, but I got another one of those pizzas with the cauliflower crust.
Oh,
It seems
good.
like a weekly event now. It seems
Yeah.
almost like it's like a habit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm evolving into a healthy person. I know. I'm shocked.
Here's a
It is-
question,
it's-
Sean.
It's shocking.
How many cauliflower pizzas are offset by normal human pizzas?
I mean, right now it favors the cauliflower completely. That's all I seem to be eating these days.
Countdown, take me away.
You know, and I remember when Michelle Obama was trying to improve lunches for
And
students.
you made fun of her so much. I was like, whoa, pump the brakes, Sean.
Well, I don't remember it that way.
Me either. Not at all.
See, it's a comedy show. Go ahead.
It's a comedy show. So we can just lie about each other. That's good to know. All right.
Thank you.
But food vendors got the government to declare pizza a vegetable. Remember that? How kooky that was. And we just sort of joked that, oh, instead of making healthy stuff, they just make the crappy stuff healthy. But
Yes, I do remember you doing this.
you know, if it's with the cauliflower in the crust and the tomato in the sauce and just all vegetables on top, maybe it is a vegetable now. Maybe it has evolved
really-
into a vegetable.
It has.
And what's really impressive too is how when you go to put the empty box away, there's no grease. There's no grease in it. It's not
Isn't that
a
wonderful?
disgusting greasy
It's
thing.
great. I'm all for these, like, you know, manufactured foods of like this fake meat stuff. I'm into it. I will eat it for sure.
Yeah.
Manufactured fake. Did you say fake foods?
No,
But they're plant-based
meat.
fake foods.
plant-based foods. Yes, exactly.
Well,
Absolutely.
ultimately, good for you. There, I said it. I'm
So
happy
anyway,
for you.
it's thank you very much.
This week,
Yeah.
I opened up my Oculus and I put it on.
Oh wow, that's a big moment. How did it go?
day.
Did you like it?
I went from what am I doing? Why I got other stuff to
I'm
do.
in
to
hell.
go-
This is hell. I'm in hell.
I was like, what? And I'm in a whole new world. It was quite, I went from, oh, I don't want to be bothered to, I got to get every one of my friends one of these right now so we can all play games together.
It is really
I
fun.
flipped.
It is really cool. Absolutely. Like I said, I've been using it for exercise. It's amazingly good for exercise.
What do you use for exercise? The move, fella? The little move? You dance?
There's a couple games. There's Synth Riders, which I think is really fun because you can also put custom music into it. Like Shoe. There's a hit band named Shoe without the
hit
period
band,
that I
but I
really am into. And I
Oh, I
could
hate
put
you
their
guys
stuff
so
into it if I
much,
wanted
dude.
to. No, but there's that. There's ping pong. There's boxing. The boxing is a hell of a workout. There's a lot of different stuff.
Like this, and punch the little zippity around bag. What do you
The
call
zippy
it? A
around
speed
bag, yeah.
bag?
Yeah,
Speed
speed bag.
basket.
Speed basket, exactly. The speed basket.
And
You can't do
that's
callbacks
fun.
to things that happened before we were live. You know that, right? Because the audience is like,
Okay,
what
fair
is
enough.
going on
Fair
now?
play.
Speed basket?
Fair
What are we
play.
talking about?
That's a good call. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Mike.
Okay.
Uh,
You know what? I'm
What-
going to go
what-
grab my grilled cheese. I'll be right back.
boy, he's really checked out, hasn't he, Sean? He's really checked out of this show.
I mean, the show really runs itself at this point. It's
It
such
does.
a
It's
well-oiled.
kind of like
It's such a well-oiled machine.
Yes. I'm
So-
agreeing with you. Don't stop talking.
I'm not. So, what do we got going on? What's going on today?
We got a couple things. That's a great question, Sean. You're really doing a
Thanks,
great
buddy.
job today. I just want to let you know
Thanks,
that.
guy. Thanks.
Thank you, pal. My friend who eats cauliflower pizza.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I just don't understand where this came from. I don't understand.
Is it your roommate, bro? Is that your roommate?
You know, probably.
Good. You need some good
Yeah.
influence. I'll be honest with you. Because if I'm your only influence, that's not good, bro.
It's not good. It's been damaging. Some say.
Wait, what? What happened?
I don't know. Hey, that's a nice looking grilled cheese you got there, buddy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There you go.
You want to do some
hollow
ASMR?
bread?
Get in
Pretty
close.
good. You want to hear me eat it? Yeah.
Let's do it. Closer. There it is. No. I think your AI, your smart cancellation robot.
Your smart cancellation robot.
I wish. See, I'll never be canceled, Mike. Because I am a robot.
Here we go. You brought it up without me even having to say anything. That's amazing.
Yeah, you wished and I granted.
Oh boy.
Now he's
Sean's
going to
video
use that
blanked out.
saying.
Oh, he's back though.
There he is.
I will never be canceled.
I'm back.
Quote, Dustin Gardner.
That was your words there. Those were your words that I
That's
would now
what you
make
just
up.
said. You just said that. Literally, we can watch the recording where you said, I will never be canceled.
Now I got him saying it two different ways that I can now make a song out of it.
Oh.
I will never be canceled. My name is Mike Baguette again. What? Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Robot. Go ahead, Sean.
Easy. This is becoming quite a duel between the two of you.
A duel. That's very hilarious that you'd bring that up, Sean.
Why? Why was that?
Well, because what you're doing is called a classic segue moment. There you are on the big screen. Look how pretty he is, folks. They call him the pretty boy of the show. And I might have to call an audible. I'm being honest with you. I may have to pull an audible and bring our guest in soon. Because
What?
let me tell you why before you freak out, Mike. Before you freak out.
I'm not freaking out. I'm just wondering what the hell's going on.
Well, I'm trying to explain it. You made a face, and I didn't want a volcano explosion, red lines everywhere. But what I did was make a video of my Duel lives, Sean.
Right.
And it's a brand new thing on TikTok where you can talk with another human being who is live across the world, really.
Oh, wow. I've never seen something like that before.
We're currently doing that, smart Alec. Just because we're all in Detroit, there's going to be somebody from LA's in a minute. But what I did, Sean, it was 3.5 hours. I was on live 3.5 hours. And I've spent all day today trying to edit it down, trim out the fat. And I got a solid 45-minute video.
What? A solid 45-minute video.
It's a long video. I can admit that.
It's running a little long. It's running
a little long. And it's currently uploading. And as we all know, being in this profession, you can't always go off of upload times, right?
Sure.
Upload times. No, you can't.
And I do believe our guest would understand this if we brought him in a couple minutes early and we interviewed him and then we went and did the TikTok.
What is that an intro or like?
No, this isn't it yet. This isn't it.
Oh my God.
We're talking about it. We're talking about
Yes,
it.
Sean. Yes, I'm gonna go to Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
I would just say, to be fair, that we were so behind schedule in getting to that duel that we're actually pretty close to exactly when we had told him that he would be joining us.
It's almost like you
So, in
forgot
fact,
or
if we had
something.
done the duel,
Yeah,
we would be way behind.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
So, I don't even think it's a stretch for us to segue over to him.
I mean, not at this point. We're only a minute away. And that's going to take about a minute for me to go, hi, everyone. Welcome to Meltdown Island interview series, where we take time.
His voice is
keep going.
like
Keep going.
Where we
Keep
like
going.
to
Like
take
butter.
time to introduce our islanders to other I don't know, worlds, other universes, other planets of
You know what? Hey,
planes
let
of
me just pause you
existence.
because this is going to go on a while. But Sean, did you hear what he said to intro the show today? He said, "Welcome to Meltdown Island. It's a comedy show." That's it. Go ahead.
Why
Continue.
did you bring it up? Ethan? Why?
I wanted something for Sean and I to laugh about while you were doing this. Keep going. Keep going.
Son of a gun. You're such a son of a gun. And what we're going to do, like a couple weeks ago, when we introduced you to a nice friend of ours, this week we're going to introduce you to another friend who has a comedy show that's on the YouTubes. And
Another one.
who are on the YouTubes, you're going to be able to just go right on over and give him a subscribe, give him a like, give him a watch.
boy.
And like you guys,
I just
remember
hope he
who this
doesn't
is.
lose subscribers from his appearance on this show.
If anything, we're the ones that lose subscribers. It's just like a
Do we
constant
even
drumbeat.
do we have any to lose?
Leaving.
I don't even know.
We have all those people we picked up from the shoe debacle that I did.
Oh yeah,
suggest
hemorrhaging
do.
subscribers. I forgot. That's right.
Yeah, hemorrhage is a good word. That's a good word. And so,
Yes.
what I'd like to do is say, hey, everybody, you remember a fellow named Mike Targus? Well, guess what? He's got Mike Targus's productions, the interview productions from Mike Targus. And I'd like you to welcome to the show, if he's up and around and available and has his mute off. It's not all up to me, ultimately.
He's
but
ready to
welcome
go.
to the show, our friend, and now
mute is
yours,
Jesus.
Mr. Mike Targus, everyone. There he is. He's Mike Targus.
God. That was the longest intro that he's ever done for anybody on this show. So you should feel very,
Yes.
very grateful about
Yes.
that.
Tell him how to feel. Tell him.
Usually he just,
Before, but that tops it.
Thank you.
usually it's just like, oh yeah, and then now, okay, let's do the interview segment. Mike, what's taking so long?
Now I know I need to say, Mike McGettigan, I got some things coming up. I'm going to do it now. And then it's working out better. Either way,
It's working
hello,
out
Mike
better.
Targus. Hello, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. I see that you're on the set of your hit YouTube show.
This is it. Yes,
And it's called Only
is
the
set.
Interviews.
This is my house. This is my set. This is where we shoot only the interviews. It's a web cruise production, Mike
That's it.
Targus production, what have you. Either way.
How many productions has Mike Targus produced?
Oh, well, that's a different question, but
It is.
I don't know, between all the different web series and shorts and stuff we've done, I don't know, 20, 30
Yeah,
different
I
things.
mean, that's a hard question, right?
I didn't realize it was so hard, Mike, but now I'm really second guessing myself.
Okay, Dustin, how many things have you produced, Dustin?
Thousands, Mike. Thank you. I know the
Thousands.
exact.
Oh, okay. So you have a specific number, which is thousands. But poor Mike Targus says, I don't know. And you're like, well, you should know.
I need the tally. I need the tally.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Mike Targus.
There's a lot of
met
stuff in the
Mike
pipeline,
Targus-
too.
You did what?
I said there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline, too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I felt emasculated by the thousands when I was like, 20, 30 things.
That's my.
I don't think
bust. I
Dustin's
did
right
not
about
mean-
that.
I got stuff coming. I got about 900 projects on the back burner. But
There you go. There you go.
simmering.
That's the kind of stuff you
Look at
want
me.
to say.
I'm like Jammy Camel.
Jamie Fimmel, everybody. This is the Jamie Fimmel show.
Look, there it is. I love it. I watched the show.
We're live.
That's why I brought him on, to be honest with you, because I met Mike Targus in Detroit. You're originally from Detroit, is that correct?
I'm originally from Detroit. Yes. Now I'm wearing the LA hat just to kind of like,
Let us know where you're at.
punk some of the Detroit folks. But you know what? Jamie's got the Detroit hat on. He reps every show.
That's amazing. Now, I've seen the second season. I've seen the second season, watched
Sure.
up to the new one, and I noticed there's a lot of Detroiters on it.
Oh yeah, obviously they're easy asks. Hey, we're doing this. Yes, I've watched it, and yes, I get the format. This is wild and it's crazy, and it's like we get your sense of humor, so those people all adjust very well, and they knock it out of the park. So yeah, that's exciting, and it's obviously it's a crazy business, so it's an easy thing to share with folks and friends. Like, hey, oh yeah, this person. There you go. Boom.
It's almost like
it's actually a pleasure.
An improvised character of themselves promoting or telling a funny story from their life.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That is correct, Dustin. You've done your research. You read the book. Oh my God.
I research things.
I wasn't expecting that. So, but yes, right. What's interesting, and I'm actually in like producer mode right now because we're shooting again, doing a bunch of interviews this weekend. So I've had to have these conversations with folks over the last couple of days. We're doing about 8 more, and to finish off the 20 episode season.
That's the number.
Yeah, we're going with the 20 episode season. We were thinking 24. We're gonna do some Netflix bullshit and do 18. We're like, no, do a solid 20. Stop pussyfooting around.
When I was doing Dustin's after show at episode 3, I was like, maybe we're like the English people, the British people, and only do 3 a season. Like they
3. The BBC, like they're that good. They only do 3.
That's it. That's all. I mean, enough. Sherlock Holmes, we're on season 5, and it's only been 6 episodes.
Leave them wanting more. That's George Costanza right there, right? Yeah.
And Mike
everybody, I'm out of here.
I'm on the other side of the spectrum, where I'm more.
Yeah,
like that stuff. Yeah.
You're always, yeah. I mean, you tend to have a philosophy of, if I just give them more, then everything will be okay.
Anybody heard that K-pop? It's K-pop. All right.
Well, they have to learn to. They have to. What's the phrase? They have to learn that they can't live without it. So if you give them more,
then all of a sudden, like
and then it stops, and they're like, "Wow, I feel better now." What if they feel better if it stops, and then what do you do?
Well, then you've got it.
You put all your cards on the table.
Because you're like, oh, I feel good now. Then you go back to feeling like, oh, I'm just living life again. Then it's
because
like,
I mean, after this show is over at around 6 p.m., sometimes I have this feeling like, oh wow, I feel like there's nobody yelling in my ear.
You don't even wear headphones.
Wow. I feel like I can't wait until the next one.
There he is.
That's right. There you go, Sean. There you go.
Now, Mike, Targus, I wish I'd have got to know you more while you was here, because I feel like you was here and then all of a sudden you was gone. I was like, where'd Mark Targus go?
I made my name in Detroit and I beat it and I ran with it.
Yep.
No, I mean, obviously, whatever, years ago, you edited a bunch of music and stuff together for a project I did. That was one of my first big projects. You picked up the pieces from our boy Jamil, and that was always a big deal to me. I was always like, Dustin, fuck it. Yeah, that was awesome.
Fuck it.
Wow,
that's awesome.
And Dustin, he didn't screw it up. He did a good job and stuff. And
no, he did. He did a great job.
Good.
Wow. I had to kind of hold my breath, but no. But anyways.
But ultimately, after holding your breath, you felt better.
Right. It was like I took the earphones out at 6 o'clock, and I was like, all right. Decompress.
Let's see what the comments say. Adam says, if you start now, we'll watch the whole thing. It took me twice as long. Okay. Nothing about Mike Targus, just seeing. All right. Mike Targus. Say hello.
Nothing about Mike Targus. Why are you saying that?
I got
multiple setups going on. I can't read any comments. I'm just whatever. Yeah. So great. That's fine.
And Can you show us around the studio? Like maybe introduce us to Jammy? Like I don't know if people
Of
understand
course,
that
of
that's
course. Jimmy's been kind of chirping in my ear right now. He does want to come up.
he does moves like this. Whoa! And he goes, doubles the birds. He does double bird sometimes. Look at that. He's a skeleton, you guys. Mike McGettigan didn't
Look at
realize
how natural
skeleton.
he is.
He's
Look at
such
how
a natural.
he is.
Sean, your thoughts of the skeleton?
It's somehow spooky and charming at the same time,
Let's face facts. He's always smiling.
with a dose of educational.
Ooh, I like that.
I feel that educational.
Then it's like, oh yeah, though I do have a bone there. That's right, I do.
Do you know? Now I wonder what bones you're talking about. Go ahead.
No, all I was going to say is, no. That's what kind of opens people up on the show is obviously Jammy or Bonesy, as I call him. That's my nick. Not that I talk to him on my own when,
No, you wouldn't.
the show's not filmed.
No.
But Bonesy gives people a weird openness. So when they do have a story that they're going to tell, all of a sudden it's like all their filters gone. They open up it's like they're talking to themselves. I mean,
Basically.
obviously they are, but that's kind of the magic of the thing. So anyway, sorry, not to be serious. I know this is a comedy show.
Not serious. No, if
it's a
anything, it was
comedy
very
show.
informative.
The only thing,
Now,
the
you
only
had
thing
on-
is, this is a comedy show.
Thank you.
I'm
Mike.
sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. Did I interrupt, Dustin?
We were about to go to flow state, but I appreciate you, Mike.
We were about to go to a flow state. I have never experienced that with the show before. That would be amazing.
You always cut me off right about flow state time.
Oh, man.
Hey,
I knew it was my fault
Targus.
somehow.
Mr. Targus, my question is, you had on a fella who's semi-famous and from Detroit on second season, episode 1, who's been on some big time movie shows. And I was what the heck?
Paul Walter Hauser was one of the first people that I met that, right when I moved to LA. I mean, I after I left Detroit, I lived in Chicago for about 3 years, and then when I got to LA, it was like, okay, cool. Where are the improv spaces? What are we doing? And so we were doing some IO West stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm kind of moving more towards storytelling and whatever, my specialty, if you will, whatever. And him and I were in the same slot for this like storytelling competition festival at IO West, and my boy Jason Eccles, another Detroit guy, was like, "Oh man, you gotta know Paul, man. He's from Saginaw, yada yada yada." I'm like, "All right, great." And it's just like 4 dorks wearing Detroit hats at a comedy theater, like, "Yeah, we should be friends."
And it worked out because if Sean was to, what do you do when you look up an actor's NYP or PD?
Yeah, the NYPD Blue, right? That's what you look up.
Yeah, you look up an actor's NYPD Blue. Yes, that's the site you go to. Yep.
You would see that. Paul Thomas Anderson. What's this guy's name again?
Paul Walter Hauser. Right. At that time, he was the coolest dude because it was like, yeah, I had an Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode like 5 years ago. It's like, man, this guy's cool.
But then he did that one movie where he played Richard Jewell.
Well, Richard Jewell, right.
Amazing.
Kathy Bates was nominated for an Oscar because she was playing. She played his mom. She was nominated for Best Supporting Actor or Actress, and then I, Tanya, and then he was in Black Klansman, and what was the more recent Spike Lee movie?
The KKK one.
They're in Vietnam.
Oh, I saw that
Five
one.
Bloods.
Richard Jewell.
Five Bloods.
Mm-hmm.
He played
yeah.
Richard Jewell. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's blown up as this like everyman, comedic,
too.
super honest, great actor, like we know so many of those folks, and
He does this
and
face.
he just is like once he whatever, like whatever hit the ground, he was running, and people can't stop casting him. And he's a hit at all the parties too, because he's just like super approachable. I mean, whatever. He's a bigger guy, but it's like he's just like everybody that just is like, oh, I want to have a beer with that guy.
If you see him in the Richard Jewell movie,
he comes through. Go ahead.
He's so huggable. He looks like
No.
Hey, buddy, let me give you a hug. Like, he's so gentle.
Dustin, you're great at interviews. You are just you're
Mike.
good at interviewer.
Don't get me in my head, Mike. He's about to hit flow state.
we were about to hit full flow.
Buddy?
Oh, we're about to hit flow state. Fuck!
Flow state.
Mechanical. That's a huge when I saw that guy, I was like, oh shit, my Targus got his shit together. Because I got
like I said, odd thing about this project is it probably wouldn't have happened because we actually had a movie, him and I, in development at the beginning or before the. Am I allowed to talk about the pandemic on this show?
Yes. It's Meltdown Island, bro. The world is melting down around us.
Wait, what did you just say, Dustin? Dustin, what did you just say?
I just said we're called Meltdown Island, and the world is melting down around us.
Oh, right. Well, that's
there
why
you go.
Hollywood's on fire. That's why the world's burning down.
So, Dustin, I want you to remember that's kind of. I know you hate it, but it's kind of an intro to the show. Just think about it. We've been having trouble getting Dustin to introduce the show. Today he had it on the running order, but all he said was, "Hi, welcome to Meltdown Island. It's a comedy show." Anyways, today we're gonna
Oh my god!
Like introduce
the concept. What is this show about? Yeah. Anyways,
see, that's the thing about concept and conceptual.
I was just about to hit a flow state. How dare you?
You were flowing. You're gonna.
Don't you dare! How dare you, Mike? Back to your set and it's burning down. I appreciate that. And yes, please mention the pandemic and your project.
Well, yes. Well, the project was called. We shot a short version of it. Whatever it ended up being about 15, 20 minutes. Whatever short film, and we premiered it in Detroit. 5 years ago now. It's kind of crazy. Maybe wow. Yeah, 5 years ago now. Yeah. So but then we were set to shoot the feature last year. We were basically started. Well, we were casting as of the beginning of the pandemic last year. Shia LaBeouf was pretty excited, or his people were at least, to play the lead, which is based on fucking me and working at the Park Bar, which is kind of fucking gnarly. Like, okay, Shia LaBeouf.
I'll be in Shia LaBeouf, and me and him will be best buds.
Yeah, he's basically me with fucking hair, So, but then he said no, like a week into like the initial lockdown, and then there was like no casting. There was nothing going on. The production company ended up being like, "Hey, we got to shelve the project." Okay, at least when a project gets shelved and it's like a major world occurrence, you're like, okay, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was you got LaBeouf.
Like, yeah, right. Were you? Yeah, I got LaBeouf. But yeah, you were like, "Wow, are you super bummed?" I'm like, "Well, everybody kind of had to sit down for like 2-3 months."
It happened to everybody at once, at least. So.
Yeah. So, it's not something
that failure is a success in itself. Like, you're a part now of a system that everybody has at least failed or had something put on hold or paused.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. And being
that's a success.
And being a low down dirty Detroiter, I'm like, yeah, dude, I can take these licks. Like, don't count me out.
Me. Right? Lick me, Hollywood. That's what I'm saying.
You don't know shit, Hollywood. You know where I'm from?
No,
Targus. Dustin just said, "I will never ever get canceled." That's what he said, and then he just said,
"Why?
Come and lick me, Hollywood." I'm already thinking we're pretty close to the edge right now.
Yeah, right. No, that's cause for cancellation right there.
Now, if I would have said who runs Hollywood, then we'd have trouble.
You
But
just
what
said
I
it.
said
You
was-
just said that.
Now they're listening.
You just
Now they're
said
listening.
it.
You all thought it. That's your. I just canceled
Wow.
yourselves.
I'm like a pixel away from ending the stream right now for an emergency shutdown.
Red line, red line, red line.
God, like just the Indian test pattern.
Yep. Hi, we're back. Welcome back to Meltdown Island, where our guest is Mike Targus. Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm doing great.
That was almost great. That was almost great.
I enjoyed myself during the break. Yeah.
What I like to do is keep introducing things, then I'll take the best intro that I do and use that one.
I see. This
Now-
is just fodder for TikTok. For your
my
TikTok
God.
channel. This is all you are just
No.
mining. You are mining Sean, Mike Targus, and myself for your TikTok, you selfish
I've been doing it for
man.
years. I've been doing it for months. I'm an old miner. All right. Mike Targus. Now, at one point, somebody tells a famous story of you being at a famous Hollywood party. Is that true?
No. Actually, no. Well, Paul Walter Hauser talks about being at Elton John's Oscar party. I was not there.
Oh, okay.
He, one of the, and once again, not to get too serious, but one of the things that I tell folks when they're getting interviewed by an inanimate object is that they got to establish a relationship with him. So they always place him in their life somewhere. So that's where he was like, oh yeah, you were there. So yeah, no, I am not the skeleton, by the way.
Oh, really? Because in my mind, I felt like maybe you were the skeleton.
People say, but when people are like, oh, is that your alter ego? And I'm like, well, maybe, I guess, in the edits or whatever.
But the fun thing is you see Batman and Bruce Wayne on the same show when you could come on it.
Well, yeah, now, and that is exactly it, right? I would akin it, yes, it's more akin to that, yes.
I just brought up an akin moment, Mike McGettigan, and that's
An akin moment.
Dustin Akin Gardner.
Ooh, I like that tone. I like that.
Glad I was here to see it.
Yeah, feels good.
Is akin
that time
related
I-
to Clay Aiken?
Moving forward. I love to have fun. Do you like to have fun, Mike Targus?
I love to have fun. That's why I painted a giant backdrop, and I never painted before, and that's why I have a late night show with the skeleton.
Great.
There you go.
I didn't know you painted that. That's great. I should ask that question if you painted that.
Well, I know the questions to answer. You don't have to ask them all.
That's a very good answer. I'm going to give you applause for that answer without me having to ask.
Yeah, no, that was a weird project. It was like once I finished that, it was like, okay, I gotta really do this thing now. And then it was just a bunch of fragments of stories, and it was season one is basically, well, it's all me. Except for 75% me, because we ended up shooting a few test shows with other folks, other buds, and but yeah, all the ones I shot by myself in whatever that was June, July last year. It was just fragments of a one-man show that I knew was never going to happen, and it was like, when am I going to put this up? But these are good stories, and yeah.
It's a great way to storytell for sure. And I think it's wonderful. That's my Clay Aiken impression. I'm being trolled by Mike.
Oh, okay.
Did not mean to break into song.
Is that trolling? I didn't know that's what trolling was.
See, for you, it's just breathing. Now, Mike Targus no, it is a great way for storytelling, because you just basically sit down and tell a story and then edit out the parts that are like, oh, I just rambled on here or whatever, because that's my problem.
Well,
and
yeah, right. I mean, you edit it out, and that's why I tell everybody else, I can make them really look well or look good,
or if you don't give me a
even if they
kiss on the
screw up or
cheek.
stutter or whatever.
You might look bad.
What are
you
you-
might look bad.
What are you asking for a kiss on the cheek?
I'm being
Justin?
Harvey Weinstein. I was being Harvey Weinstein for a moment. I was being
I
gross
will
Hollywood
never be canceled.
as a parody of the Hollywood culture, Mike. Thank you. Satire much, anyone?
Right, absolutely. As a parody of the Hollywood culture, what does the host really bring to the show anyway?
Not much, as you can attest to my 2 co-hosts. I'm just along for the ride sometimes, you know what I mean? Hey, it's psychedelic, man. Hey, Mike Targus, have you gone on TikTok? Do you like TikTok?
I have gone on it. I haven't put any of this content on it. I have an old project on there. The original Web Cruise brand project is on TikTok if you want to tune in. Those were all whatever 30-second or so bits that we pumped out over. I don't know. I think that was in like 2018, middle of the Trump era. Can we talk about Trump on the show? No,
You can. It was a thing that happened. And I researched into this huge.
That's how he thinks of it.
And I found it's on HBO, so anyone can do this research. But it's very good, and we were psychologically warfared by them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a thing. It's a big thing.
And no, absolutely.
January 6th. All right. Never forget. Always remember. Hey, Mike Targus, would you like to tell everybody how to find your show, like where they should go?
Well, the easiest way to find us is to go to YouTube, and you can look up only the interviews. I'm sure if you search Paul Walter Hauser or Julian Gant, who's on the new Mayan Bialik show, Call Me Cat. And of course, you could always Google Mike Targus. Because
we also have a link in the live stream chat for you to click on to go right to your page. Thank you for whoever did that.
You're welcome.
That's wonderful. And before you guys let me go,
not letting you go yet.
Don't. Okay, well then I'll hold the special news I have.
Oh, you have special news? No, out with it. I can't take it now. I get too excited. I can't think of anything else except your special news.
As of right now, unless some unforeseen circumstance happens, we are shooting Andy Dick and his interview this weekend.
Wow.
Interesting.
Boy,
God.
he's got to be kind of insane to deal with, right?
But as my good friend Jen House, who you guys probably know.
Oh yeah, I know Jen.
Sure.
And she's like, "You're the perfect asshole to deal with him."
Oh, really?
I saw a tweet the other day where he was like, "Anyone want to go out to dinner? You're buying." So he was just like, okay, like he's just gonna go out to dinner with anybody that he's gonna pick the place and he's gonna have his food bought for him. But he's like,
oh my god, that's hilarious.
He's dude, great, happy, funny, loving dude. He's just like. But I mean, whatever. Yeah. It's going to be the wild card scenario, but he's nonstop stories. He doesn't stop. So it's like, with all the different things and perceptions of him. I spent a couple hours with him, and we shot some promos a couple weeks ago, and I'm excited. He dialed it. He dialed it in as soon as he saw okay, this guy has come to play. It's
right.
It was like, instead of, being whatever, this freewheeler, it was like, oh, boom. And once again, you guys can appreciate the shit out of this too. Like just improv and comedy wise, it was just like,
dude,
boom.
I am so
I wonder
proud
if
of
he'd be
you.
interested in hosting a show called Meltdown Island.
Oh my god, you were trying to get rid of me, dude.
Are you guys looking for a new host? I mean, wait.
You want to host a show? It might get you dinner every once in a while.
It might be easier to host and deal with Andy Dick. I don't know.
Oh my god.
If he just was dropped out of a plane into Detroit, if people would just go with it, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
No, I'm proud of you because this is
he
how.
just doesn't know it yet. But whatever. I mean, he spent years in Chicago and shit.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right,
This is how whatchamacallit, Eric Andre, he started his show by just having people on, they come on to talk, and then all of a sudden he got more and more famous people. He got it. I don't know if maybe he did get Andy Dick. Who knows? But ultimately, dude, it's only upwards and onwards from here. I'm so proud of you, my guy.
No, we're excited. Yeah. Wish us luck this weekend. It should be a good thing.
That's awesome.
And that was a Paul Walter Hauser Connect. This Paul Walter Hauser is shooting this weight loss documentary for Mark Wahlberg. Donnie Wahlberg's working him out, like traveling around with like super Hollywood shit, dude.
Yeah, right.
So like whatever, but Paul's happy. He's lost like 20-30 pounds at this point, whatever.
Wow.
But the guy shooting the footage for Mark Wahlberg was Andy Dick's ex-assistant and was shooting footage while Paul was doing his interview here, and then he was like, "Hey, dude, I can get you Andy Dick if you want." I'm like,
my God. I knew I should have moved to LA. I knew it.
Well, once you're 10 years deep, you start like, people are like, "Man, everybody. I've lived in a city for 10 years.
I know a few people. People. Yep.
Yeah, right. And I'm still the same asshole I was when I, left Detroit. But I've never left Detroit here."
Oh, see, that's why you don't seem like an asshole to us, right, Sean?
Right.
Sean?
10 years, huh? That's something.
Yeah.
It's a decade.
Yeah. No, I'm coming up on 10. So yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
I'm
Goes
so
by
happy
fast.
for you. I'm so proud of you. This is amazing. Thank you for coming on our
it's very
show today.
exciting,
This was
No, I'm excited. I'm happy to see you guys. I haven't seen you guys in almost that long. Too.
It's great to have you on the show.
We've had a show now for a couple years. I'm surprised you haven't.
10 years, I think. I think it's been 10 years.
That's been about 10 years.
This show's about to celebrate its 10-year anniversary.
No.
I feel like I've already been
just
on
like
10 years.
Feels like that. It feels like we're about to hit our Iron anniversary. What? How did I know that? HBO.
It's Iron. Okay.
Feels
Because
like I'm
they're
paying
doing-
the iron price.
Oh, this
Game of
guy
Thrones.
with his.
Game of Thrones, guys.
That's what it is. Well, Game of Thrones has now hit its 10-year anniversary, and
Wow,
I
what a
did
segue.
giving away the.
You guys got somebody from Game of Thrones coming on right after me? Is that?
Yeah.
Yes,
I think
Theon,
so.
with
I think so.
Arms, no.
Yep.
You lose all his body parts. That guy, or that person. How about that? I'm enlightened. Well, thank you so much, Mike. I super appreciate it. Everybody, give it for Mike Targus one time. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube 2 times. All right?
2 times.
Targus, everyone.
2 times. Subscribe twice.
Watch
Like
every
4
episode
times.
with every device you got.
With all of your Gmail accounts, go.
All right. Hey, yeah, great talking to you guys. Love you in Detroit very much.
Love
Only
you.
the interviews, Mike Targus. Only the interviews. He's the best.
Wow. So good job, Dustin.
He's very nice.
What's that?
Mike Targus did a great job. I'm not giving you any of the credit for that.
Great. That's fine. Here's the thing is, as a humble host of a small time YouTube show, I don't need credit, bro.
Great. All right.
Good, because you're certainly not going to get it.
Yeah.
Well, it says creator of only the interviews, so some people might think that it's me that's Mike Targus, and I don't need that credit, is what I'm saying. Ultimately, Sean.
Yeah.
That's
No,
embarrassing.
you got enough going on.
So what I've done is I've gone ahead and taken the video that is finally uploaded, and I've sent it to Mike McGettigan, and we can maybe just preview it. Don't freak out,
like
but it's
45 minutes long, right? So
yes, and we're just gonna skim it. See, YouTube has this very unique. You can hit the dial and then move it. You can move the dial and you can skim to the good parts. And I didn't have time to cut out all of the. Okay, so there might be some fat. There might be. It may not be as slender and focused ready as I may have wanted. Slender Man. Man, wasn't that crazy? Mike Targus really doing it, huh? That's crazy.
He's really
He's
doing
doing
it.
it.
Really doing
I'm so
it.
happy for him.
Oh, why
You
is
think
my
I'd be
second
all like,
screen-
"What about me?" and stuff, but I'm really happy for him.
What?
What
you
you mean?
Strange.
think that I would be? What about me and stuff?
Just classic Dustin stuff.
Like ego, like fevered ego, Dustin stuff.
I mean, sort of, but that's you and Eshek's thing. I ain't trying to take your thing either, but yes, I definitely got, night sweats of an ego.
Night sweats of an ego. Well, here's the TikTok. I got to make sure that the sound is piping through though. So hang on 1 second.
And we'll just skim through. Again, I might need to just take this down. I didn't really. Yes, Sean.
It's like to state for the record that this is a risky move. According to the running order, we should be into roses and thorns by
It
now.
really
All
is.
right,
Yep.
that's a good point.
This is
All
right.
crazy
Exactly.
talk. This is
Exactly. It is completely
Okay.
crazy to shift gears
Well-
into something unexpected.
right. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it just might be better. Okay, hold on. Now we're listening.
We got our disco music happening.
Oh, you do?
I can't hear it
Bad
though.
Mama Jamma.
Oh,
It's pretty
she is a bad
quiet
mamma jamma.
on
From what I
here.
understand, you was a bad mamma jamma.
I piped it through to Discord, so
I've
it
seen
should be.
videos.
You should be getting it in Discord, but
right
it's
We can hear it.
so
I can
quiet.
What's with the dancing? Why is she dancing so much?
Well, she's got.
I'm not as good a
followers,
dancer.
and
I can do this.
She's physically fit, and
Well,
she's
you're-
standing, and there's music playing.
This is so fun. This is so weird. It's brand new, guys. I've never
Okay.
experienced anything like this. Have you, Angela? Have you had your first
This is
duel?
honestly, I've done dual lives with about 7 people today.
Oh my gosh. Of
that
course you
crazy?
have. That's great. That's awesome. I mean, I quit my job and rushed home to do this at whatever time.
Right? I'm good. Real quickly. There's the Vegas meetup this weekend. Is there anyone here that's going?
That's right.
Did you hear
Is
that?
anybody going to the Vegas meetup?
I can confirm that I have heard of this Vegas meetup. And there is something that is definitely intriguing because, none of us really met each other in real life, right? So there's that part
Right?
that's like, I would like to meet some of these people. Especially
Right?
Angry Reactions is there. I love that guy.
Should have said her because
So
clearly I was talking to her.
no.
I mean,
Dustin,
And we
you
have a
look
no.
enthralled
I mean,
as
we
you're
are still
watching
in a
yourself
pandemic.
right
I ain't
now.
got my shots yet.
I know. I'm not ready for prime time on that. Plus, to be honest, I'm not a heavy partier.
we can power.
I mean,
New
yeah, what am I
fires-
going to do?
Okay, we'll have to look
Wait,
at that,
what?
David. Okay, so
you can
while you
skip
guys
ahead
are answering,
An
hour.
next,
I mean, this is
3.5 hours.
fascinating.
It is insane.
I'm gonna say, I am giving this. But I'm giving us a thorn for trying to squeeze this in. This expect a thorn for trying to squeeze this in. I feel like this
30 minutes
I feel
until
like
we
this deserves
switch.
its own thing.
I didn't get time to really
30
get it all
minutes
down.
until she's done talking to Dustin.
And to be fair, I
that's
cut
been
out about a good
edited.
hour of it.
That has been edited down.
An hour at least. It's 3.5
What was-
hours.
What was so good about the earlier part that made you go, I gotta save this?
It tells a story, Mike. It tells a story.
Does it?
Hello.
Whoa, now that's super loud.
Yeah,
That was
man.
crazy. Well, what just happened? That was so much fun. I can't believe that happened.
All right, that's it.
That was
You can skip ahead
boy,
to
that's
another
weird.
one.
But
There's a couple others.
I'm in shock.
There's a couple others that are short and very funny. They're pretty funny. Like this one was an Illinois right here. This one's crazy. They hang up on me.
Do they?
They do.
Hi there.
What's up, man? What's going on?
He does not want to deal with you at all.
He's in a store. They're
Yeah, what's
looking
up,
at
man?
the
Where you
camera.
from,
This
my
guy
dude?
has no idea he's being
I'm from
filmed.
Detroit.
Oh, Detroit, Michigan. I'm
brother.
from Illinois.
Where are you from?
Illinois.
Oh, Illinois.
Yeah, yeah.
I clicked on him because they had 800 people in there.
How you
What are
doing,
you
man?
doing
You
in
good?
Illinois?
Yeah.
So they're
He should be
broadcasting.
wearing his mask.
And you
Yeah,
guys were
Yeah,
no,
at this
really.
this is a
you
hot
got
Very
mess
true,
of a
Sean.
show they got.
Yeah, man. Family business, you know.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah, man. We be busting all day.
What?
They do this all
Yeah,
day.
man.
So this was
Crazy.
Coming out
part
Hi,
of the
everybody.
best
My
of
name's
what you
Justin.
recorded
I'm
in
from
4
Detroit,
hours.
and I do comedy.
3.5.
And I also make
3.5.
music.
I got turned down a lot. You'd be surprised. Even friends, quote unquote friends.
You guys are crazy.
I
You
still
guys
feel
are
like
at a
this
store.
could be edited
Everybody.
down a little
Oh,
bit.
they
Whoa!
hung up on me. Oh no, I didn't even know that was a thing. That's hilarious. That's fun.
All right, we could.
Um,
That makes a lot less pressure. I'll be honest with you.
There's that kid too. This kid's funny too.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, Dakota?
I don't think that's his name.
Dakota. Do you
I'm
just
good.
call all kids Dakota?
Nice.
It was
How
like
you?
Doko.
I'm doing good, man. Where are you from?
I still can't believe I haven't seen you on
I'm from
the
Madison.
subreddit Cringetopia yet.
Where are you from?
Detroit.
Cringetopia. That's a thing.
Yeah,
Motor City.
that's where a bunch of kids post cringe content.
Huh?
And
Doing
you think
live?
this is
Doing
cringe?
Duel live now, huh?
I mean, I think they might think it would be.
You can't see his smile. He has a beautiful smile.
Where'd you go?
Is that what you think about everybody who you can't see their mouth?
this guy, this kid. He has
If you
a
can't
sweet
see their
smile.
mouth, they have a beautiful
Let's
smile.
water it down. Yes, Sean.
I just wanted to say, I don't mean to sound like I'm harping on it, but I mean we're at 5:56 right now.
Okay, I said
Yeah.
shut it down. I said
I
shut it
mean,
down.
should we be doing roses
guy
and
with the big
thorns?
smiley
We should. Adam
guy with
Fuller,
the
in fact,
smile?
would do a
Yeah,
rose
yeah,
for
he
your
did a live
honesty,
duet
Sean.
last
He
night.
talks like this. He's really.
Yeah, he was in my live last night. He came and we did this.
I mean,
He's not talking about the right guy. He's confused, as I discovered.
he's confused. I mean, I don't I don't know. I
Power
don't feel.
it down. And
I
what
feel
Power
like
it
you can
down?
still get this down to like 5 minutes.
I
Yeah,
probably
less
could.
than that, I think. Like,
Listen, I ran out of time, you guys. I ran out of time.
yeah, but
my
why?
bust.
Why try to do that video?
Because
Yeah,
I'm
when
an
you run-
that's what
entertainer.
he's saying.
I'm an entertainer, and I want to make sure the peeps get entertained. However, I can see now that in retrospect, with backwards looking eyes, I don't know what that's called, I ultimately,
Hindsight.
hindsight, thank you,
That's
Sean,
what it's
that I
called,
didn't
hindsight.
need.
Go
See,
ahead.
most of my life is a guessing game, and I apologize, though I'm not sorry.
I mean,
and
if you're talking about the amount of time that you spend on things for the show, if you're
Yes.
having a guest on, maybe write down 10 questions.
But then I wouldn't have been able to get to flow state if I'm
Yeah,
sitting there talking about.
well, you said that you never did get to flow state because I kept stopping you. And that would
Good
happen
point.
less if you had plans, like a question list for
Hi,
a
everyone.
guest.
This is the next part of the show, which we like to lovingly and embrace, called Roses and Thorns. Oh, hello. Welcome to Roses and Thorns. This is everyone's favorite part of the show, where we have now done a show, and then we sit back and go, hey, I think this was good, or I think this was bad, or hey, this was something new. Let's work with it. Today I'm joined with Sean Hanlon and Mike McGettigan. Rose.
Thank you.
Rose? Why'd you just say Rose?
Because you two are the best. Rose.
Okay, all right.
Now for a thorn. Mike gets a thorn for interrupting my almost flow state. Thorn.
Wow. Okay. First of all, this is the part of the show where we give each other roses or thorns. So I'm gonna. I feel like I have too many thorns to give. I feel like there's just too many thorns.
Start
feel like
whipping them out.
Okay. Here's one. The intro to the show. I mean, it has been weeks and weeks and weeks since we've broached the topic of, hey, we need to have an intro for the show, and we still don't have one. Today you said, welcome to Meltdown Island. It's a comedy show. And then that was it. And then you moved on. But
when I put that together,
that's not a really good intro to the show. But then during the segment when Mike Targus was here, you said, and this is a bud I'm going to give you, the world is melting down around us, right?
I got that as a bud too.
That came right out of you like some sort of like, finally, I'm thinking about why the show is called Meltdown Island.
I do. I sometimes forget that it's our title and not just like a moniker.
Not a moniker. You know, a moniker is another name for name, right?
I didn't.
Okay, well, yeah, it's good to learn stuff. Anyway, so that's a bud. Think about that, Dustin, and think about how you can use that sentence to introduce the show.
I like how
I'm going to give you another thorn. I'm going to give you a thorn for trying to interrupt me just now. I'm going to give you another thorn. I'm going to give you another thorn for, Mike Targus was a great guest. I enjoyed talking to him. It was nice to see him. He had a lot of interesting things to say. However, I didn't feel like you were really listening to him as much as trying to think of fun things for Dustin to say. And I think that it would go much better if you just listen and let the guest talk and make the primary goal of the interview be, hey, I want to just keep letting this guest talk. And then in addition, I'm going to give you another thorn for switching the running order up at the last minute. You did have, I'm going to give you a rose for giving out a running order in the first place, but a thorn for not following the running order once again. I mean, it has, again, been weeks and weeks and weeks of talking about a running order. I think it's actually been about 2 months since, no, I think it's longer than that. It's been more, it's been at least 2 months since I brought up, hey, we really need to get an RO for the show. We really need a running order for the show. And it's been it has not been a success yet. It's been close in the recent weeks, and you've definitely been getting better. But I would say that it's really still something that feels very basic, very simple, that would help this show a lot if we can get a running order that we can all know what's coming up and what's going on.
Well,
I'm going to give you a thorn for. Hey, hang on. I'm going to give you a thorn for the TikTok video. You called it TikTok battle or something like that. I don't understand what a duel. Okay, so but you spelled it DUEL, not like duo or anything like that. Duel implies a fight. It implies a challenge of some sort. And I kind of felt like that was the context that I had going into it. So I can only imagine what the audience thought going into it, what it was going to be. However, the video itself, which was 45 minutes, had no prescription of where to go in the video or what to talk about or what to do with the video. You just wanted to watch it with us and have us comment on it, I think, but I didn't understand that either. So hang on. So I think it's very important to introduce things that we're going to do in a way that lets people know what it is we're going to do. That's context. That's what it's about. And that goes back again to the name of the show and introducing the show. In order for people to enjoy stuff, you have to let them know what is going on before you start. You can't just spring things on people because then they won't understand, and then it takes them a while to figure it out. And I'll tell you something, people do not like to think. They don't want to think about stuff. They don't want to figure stuff out. They want to be told exactly what's going on and what they're doing. It makes things easy for them. So that I think that's all I'm going to throw out for now, because otherwise, I don't think that the rest of the thorns are going to be very useful anyway. If I gave enough stuff. All right,
It gets to a point where you're just piling on.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to be,
I wish it was more of a conversation so that I could remind you that, as
Well,
Mike Tyson taught us.
Can I remind you
you
that
can-
this is a segment called Roses and Thorns, and there's a certain we do roses and thorns in this segment. It's not roses and thorn defense. Yes, Sean.
I hate to be one of those guys who
I know.
watches the clock, but
No,
we're
you're right.
technically over. It's
You're right to do that,
6:05.
and I want to give you a rose for that too, Sean.
I'd also like to give you a rose, Sean, for eating popcorn like you're watching them fight in a movie, which is hilarious that I wasn't able to give you.
Thanks. That's the bit I was going for, so I'm glad that read. And
I saw you
for
get
sure,
up to
red.
go
Yes,
get
it
it,
was
and I'm
good.
like, what's this guy doing?
good.
And then I'm like, oh, this guy thinks he got kids. That are hilarious. But like Mike Tyson taught us, you can make all the plans in the world, and as soon as you get punched in the face the first time, they all go out the window, and you gotta improvise and roll with. You just gotta be able to just do the show, which we did very well.
But I mean,
you got to give a rose to Mike Targus for being ready to go. And I'm so proud of him. He's doing an amazing job out there. I'd like to give you, Mike McGettigan, a rose for doing an amazing job with the tech today, making us look like a smooth, slick 1970s Oldsmobile. Woo! Then I'd like to give a thorn for not having more of a tone at the end of roses and thorns. But with that said, now I'm able to sort of filibuster and give myself a rose for making it happen. I do accept the thorn. I do accept the thorn for the video. I do understand.
Yeah.
But I got to admit, boy, did Dustin try. Boy, he really went for it. He was trying to make sure everything was in place in case we had a safety net. Didn't need it. It was more of a safety building than a net, but nevertheless, Sean, you got any roses and thorns?
Well, it seems there's been some that have already been brought up, so I don't want to repeat too much, but I would like to give a rose to Mike for seemingly resolving this camera issue. I didn't have the pixelation or the discoloration of my face, and so that's great. Good job, buddy. That's
great
been
looking face,
thanks, Sean.
That's been a thorn in your side that has now been turned into a rose.
Oh no,
he's really starting to hit that problem.
Freezing up.
During the rose for it.
I mean, other than that lockup, it was
That
fine.
was hilarious. Well, yeah, we got roses to Sean for being honest, and boy, it took twice as long as he claimed it would. All right, apologize to Adam out there. We'd love to have you back, Adam, someday. As soon as I don't know how your job's going. Miss you, bub.
Amazing. And he asked you.
No, he just asked me how was it going. I was like, hey,
what?
how's it going? I think he was looking for a reaction from me.
Oh, that's
He was
that
looking for
video.
a-
That's that
you know,
YouTube video. It's playing.
Oh,
Hey, Dustin, I also had a rose for you,
Go ahead.
just for your cockeyed optimism and your genuine belief that you're not going to ever be canceled.
I think it's only a matter of time, honestly.
So obviously, yeah.
I'm not taking on the
And as
cancel-
promised, real quick thorn for you trying to squeeze the video in.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Thanks. I guess, Sean.
Hey, total bond.
He promised.
That hook line. You accidentally finding that hook line?
Hey.
We're on Meltdown Island with the world melting down around us. Yeah, that was great.
And I knew
Yeah.
we'd get there if we just stopped focusing on it and
Just took 2 years. Yeah, right. It just took.
Focusing on it. Yes, Dustin. If there's anything that this show needs, it's way less focus. I think that's the biggest problem: is that we got to not
Yes.
focus on things at all. I mean,
We're
that's
just trying
been
too hard. We're overthinking.
yeah. We're just
That's it.
trying
That's
way
it,
too
Sean.
hard to just figure
That's it.
things out and to focus on things. That's what you've been doing for sure.
Thank you.
Nice work.
And
Wow.
I think that really says it all for today's show. Sometimes we try too hard, you guys. And if
Sean-
we just relax, we allow
Sean,
life to come
Are you
to
drinking
us.
milk and beer?
Milk beer?
Milk and ginger ale.
Oh, okay. Well, that's better than milk and beer, I guess.
You want to dip some cauliflower pizza in there, bud? Disgusting son of a...
What are you
You guys are
saying?
delightful.
You're delightful.
You're delightful. Hey, everybody, you're delightful out there. You on an island.